Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spurs Up Show, the best Gamecocks podcast on the internet. Today is Wednesday, September the 23rd, 2020. On today's show, we got a good one. I'm going over Will Muschamp's presser from Tuesday, Jalen Brooks getting his waiver denied. Thanks a lot, NCAA. Some other things that Will Muschamp said. Also, reactions to the depth chart. We got our first depth chart of the 2020 football season. I'll give my thoughts, reactions, things that I was interested in, surprised me, other news and notes regarding that as well. Also, it's Wednesday during football season. You guys know what that means. Gambling picks are back. I'm giving first my best bet for the South Carolina Tennessee game, and then SEC gambling picks for week one. We're about to hit the cash, hit the money. Your bookie is going to be begging for mercy after this weekend. I'm so fired up for today's show, and it's all brought to you, speaking of gambling, by our friends over at MyBookie. Guys, it's football season. SEC football is here. We're in the midst of sports are completely back, and I know we're all fired up about that, guys. At MyBookie, that can only mean one thing. It is winning season. Winning season means doubling your first deposit. Winning season means free bets, super contests, Survivor, and more. At MyBookie, winning season is all about your chance to win big. You can bet NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, Major League Baseball, UFC, college football, NFL. Guys, anything and everything you can think of, you can bet it. The craziest sports time of your lifetime is here. It's simple. Make your picks, win big, and collect your cash. Invest in your intuition. You guys are smart. You know who's going to win these games. And if you don't, guess what? I'm going to tell you. Select from hundreds of future bets, or you can bet games in real time with MyBookie's live betting. Put that big brain of yours to good use. Go to mybookie.ag. That's mybookie.ag, and use the promo code Gamecocks, and you're going to double your first deposit. Guys, new players get up to $1,000 in free play. So listen to what I'm saying. They're going to double your first deposit, and you're getting $1,000 up to that in free play. So if you put in $1,000, they're going to give you $1,000 in free money to gamble with. You put in $500, they'll give you $500, et cetera, et cetera. It's really that simple. It's no risk, all reward here. If you hit it, great. If you don't, guess what? You don't lose any money, and you still get to play. It's designed to add more excitement to the sports you love and the games you bet. Thousands of cross-sports wagers, props, and parlays await. Sign up now to bet with the best and celebrate your victory. Guys, again, that's mybookie.ag, promo code Gamecocks. Mybookie.ag, promo code Gamecocks. Your winning season begins today only at MyBookie. Let's get it. Yo, what is up, guys? Happy Wednesday. I'm Chris Phillips, host of the Spurs Up Show. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in. We've got a good one. Packed show here on a Wednesday. Like I said, the weekly pods are back. Obviously, if you didn't know by this point, had the Tuesday show. We're back on Wednesdays, guys. You know why I'm excited that we're back on Wednesdays? Because guess what we get to talk about today? I get to win you guys some money. We're talking gambling, amongst other things as well. We got to talk about Muschamp's presser, the depth chart, that good stuff, but I'm going to win you guys some money. I'm very, very excited to get the gambling picks going. We were about a 54% clip last year. Trying to get above that. I'm trying to get above 60% this year. So gambling picks are here. But first, before we get into everything, I had somebody complain on YouTube about the Monday show, which, yes, we had a lot of announcements. There was a lot of stuff going on. I apologize for a lot going on, but I'm going to try to run through the housekeeping items because I don't want anybody on YouTube to get mad. Don't want anybody to get upset. But really quickly, some things we need to go over really quickly. If you have not done so, and if you have, I appreciate it. But if you haven't done so, rate, subscribe, go leave 5 stars, leave your thoughts, your feedback. If you like the show, dislike the show, things you like, things you don't like, and it doesn't matter the platform, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play. Be sure to leave your feedback. It helps people boost up the podcast, those that maybe are unfamiliar with it. And again, for those who've already done so, I truly appreciate it. Also, if you're not subscribed and you're tuning in, not sure what you're doing, hammer that subscribe button. Again, daily pods are back. You want to be sure you don't miss a single one. You're going to get those daily notifications when the podcast drops. So again, thank you if you've done so. And if you haven't, take 5 seconds out of your day. It would mean a lot to me. Rate and subscribe to the podcast. Also, want to announce, posted on social media Tuesday afternoon, but wanted to announce officially, we have a watch party planned for this weekend. Watch party at Overtime Bar and Grill just down the road from Williams-Brice Stadium. It all gets going at 5:30. I'm going to run a live pregame show for about 30 minutes or so at 6 o'clock. And then obviously kickoff will be at 7:30. And obviously we'll go until the game is over. And I'm probably going to run a post-game show for about 30 minutes as well. So again, Overtime Bar and Grill this Saturday for South Carolina, Tennessee. If you're in the city, you need a spot to watch the game. I posted the graphic with all of their specials, guys, but it is a hell of a lineup. Free admission as well. You're not going to find better specials in the city for game day. $4 Tito's overtime drink, $3 house liquor, $5.50 Jaeger bombs, $4.50 Fireball, $11 domestic buckets, $13 import buckets, and then a bunch of wing specials as well. Again, guys, you're not going to find specials like that anywhere for game day, and the venue is awesome. I know you guys have seen it. So, again, Overtime Bar and Grill. That's where the Spurs Up Show will be watching South Carolina beat the hell out of the Tennessee Volunteers. Fingers crossed. Be sure to come out, guys. Starts at 5:30. Again, I'm going to do a live pregame show at 6. We're going to watch the game at 7:30. It's going to be one hell of a time, and we're going to be there all season long. I'm very, very excited. You guys come on out. Let's have a good time together. All right, before we get into the gambling stuff, let's talk first because Will Muschamp spoke to the media on Tuesday. I want to go over just some of the things that kind of stood out. I'm going to run through these kind of quickly, but some of the things that stood out, and the number one thing, and this one hurts because I saw this coming. I felt like this was going to happen because we are so bad with the NCAA, but Jalen Brooks officially has gotten his waiver denied. I mean, listen, I know you guys are probably going to ask me, Chris, why this, that, whatever, explain it. I can't explain it. There's no rhyme or reason to why the NCAA. And, you know, what I said about Jalen Brooks before, sure, whatever. No, I don't want the kid to not be eligible. It's not fair to the kid that he can't be eligible. He can't play college football this year. You got Cade Mays over at Georgia, who transferred from a SEC East rival in Tennessee, and he gets immediate eligibility. But a guy, Jalen Brooks, coming from a D2 to a D1 in a year that doesn't count for people's eligibility, he can't get eligible. I don't know what we did to piss the NCAA off, or if Ray Tanner is just that bad with the NCAA, but we never come out on the positive side of this. Will Muschamp said they're going to appeal. I mean, what do you really expect to come out of an appeal? Hopefully something positive, but as of right now, Jalen Brooks will not be playing football for South Carolina in 2020. Obviously, he'll be on the team, but will not be out there on the field for the Gamecocks. Another thing, Alex Huntley out with an ankle injury. Will Muschamp saying he is going to miss this game against Tennessee, but will be back for the Florida game. Was Alex Huntley going to really play a lot? Probably not. Does it bother me, though, that the injuries, we can't get away from the injuries, and I guarantee you Thursday night on Will Muschamp's call-in show, there's going to be some injuries we didn't know about. And then Saturday, we're probably going to find out the day of the game there's injuries. I hope not. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. But, damn, it just seems like this always happens. Again, Alex Huntley, though, should be back for the Florida game. One of the really interesting comments from really the media availability, it wasn't Will Muschamp in this scenario, but comments that J.C. Horn had. And this is going to kind of bleed into talking about the depth chart. But J.C. Horn on Dakereon Joyner said, quote, "He reminds me of Debo when he touches the ball. I'm just ready to see it on game day." That, my friends, is high accolades. That is high praise. I mean, when you're comparing a guy to Debo Samuel, who is doing it in the league now and who's arguably one of the best to ever wear it at South Carolina, I mean, that's pretty high praise. So, again, I'm going to kind of bleed into the depth chart talk with that being said, but very, very exciting stuff when you hear arguably your best defensive back saying that about Dakereon Joyner. Last thing really from the Muschamp presser that really stood out, Jay Urich having surgery on his shoulder. He is out for the season. He is done with football. But you know what? The thing with Jay, he's going to have such a major impact outside the game. It was a chronic shoulder injury. He's actually going to have surgery today, and he will be done with football. Wants to be a graduate assistant coach helping Connor Shaw with the life skills program. And that's really going to be his path in life. I think it's pretty clear to see. The dude has a nonprofit now. He's done the whole Matters Minimum stuff. So Jay Urich, his impact is going to be felt far beyond the field of play. So kudos to Jay Urich. I'm excited to see this next chapter for Jay Urich for sure. All right, let's talk about the Gamecocks depth chart that came out, because this is really where the conversation has been buzzing over the last couple hours or so. First things first, when you go down this depth chart, I'm not going to go down position by position. You guys have seen it, I know, on social media. It really, nothing too surprising to me. Nothing really stood out in regards to, oh, my God, wow, I can't believe this guy over that guy or that guy over this guy. But it did confirm some things. The first thing it confirmed is wide receiver. Wide receiver being a major, major question mark and a major area of concern. And I mean, listen, I don't care if you're the most optimistic Gamecock fan. If you're the garnet glasses-wearing Gamecock fan and you think South Carolina realistically is going 10-0 this year, you cannot look at the wide receiver position for South Carolina and say you're not a little bit concerned. Because at the number 1 spot, you have Shi Smith. That's a given. The number 2, you have Xavier Legette. The number 3, like I talked about earlier, this is bleeding in the depth chart. Dak Joyner is your number 3 wide receiver. And, hey, I hope he does turn out to be Deebo Samuel. I mean, we'd obviously all love to see it. But in your top 6 wide receivers, because your second round of wideouts is Luke Doty, Rico Powers, and Jakari Caldwell. In your top 6 wide receivers, you have 2 true wide receivers, you have 2 quarterbacks, and you have you have 4 true wide receivers, but you have 2 quarterbacks and 2 true freshmen in your top 6 wideouts. And then you have Shi Smith, who you feel like should be somewhat of a proven guy, and Xavier Legette, who I do expect to make a big jump this year. But 4 of the 6, 2 are quarterbacks and 2 are freshmen. Now, those guys may turn out to be studs. They may turn out to be big-time playmakers for the offense this year. But, again, even the most optimistic Gamecock fan, you look at that starting lineup of wideouts, you look at what you have right now, especially with Jalen Brooks, again, not getting the waiver, his waiver getting denied. And, man, it is – I mean, I, for one, am extremely concerned about the wide receiver position. It's going to put – and I've talked about this again all offseason, but it's going to put so much pressure on Shi Smith to have a huge year, in my opinion. Shi Smith is the guy that needs to ball out for this team. He has to, because he's going to be carrying a lot of the load, I think, for this group. He's going to be carrying a lot of the load for this group. The other thing that kind of did stick out to me a little bit, I was surprised at the lack of depth at linebacker. Your starting 3 is good. Brad Johnson's playing the Sam now. So, I mean, you go across the starting 3, Brad Johnson, Ernest Jones, and Sherrod Green. I'll roll with that starting 3 all day. But your backups are Spencer Eason Riddle, and then Damani Staley is the backup at both middle linebacker and the will linebacker. So I'm like, where's Mo Kaba at? Like, where are these? Where's Rosendo Lewis? Where are these other guys you recruited at? Where are they? Yeah, other than that, I mean, Jordan Birch being in the rotation, the Buck fully expected. A lot of people are asking about Zach Pickens. He's not listed as a starter. I think Will Muschamp, honestly, is a guy that gives a lot of the nod to his seniors. I think he rewards guys who have been in the program a while that are seniors, that are veterans. So I think that's why you see Keir Thomas starting ahead of Zach Pickens. But they're all going to play, and that's the big thing on the defensive side. Like, the guys you're seeing in the 2 deep, they're all going to play. I mean, defense guys shuffle in and out. It's not like a guy playing quarterback or whatever, where it's like you have one guy that's there on the field playing. Tonka Hemingway being in the 2 deep is really cool. They talked about him all fall camp. He had a fantastic fall camp. I thought as well with the specialists at punt returner. And we already talked about this and we knew this, but Jamie Robinson or J.C. Horn is how it's listed. I'm really excited for the return game. I'm very excited for the return game. I think both those guys could be really explosive, especially Jamie. I'm excited for what Jamie could do as far as a punt returner. Lastly, really the thing that stuck out, again, like I said before, no starting running back has been named. It is listed as Kevin Harris or Deshaun Fenwick, which is sort of what I expect, and I think it just confirms it's going to be a running back by committee approach. It's going to be that type of approach for this team. I don't think you're going to see, and I mean, I hope you do, but I'm not banking on you're going to see one guy just be head and shoulders above everybody and just take off and be RB1. You know what I mean? And that's what I talked about all offseason. When you lost Marshawn Lloyd, that's sort of what you lost. You lost that true bell cow guy. Again, I think there are enough capable bodies for that position to be productive, and I like Harris and Fenwick at the top. But I think it's going to be very much a running back by committee approach and sort of just, hey, whoever gets the hot hand, that's who we're going to feed the ball to. So, interesting stuff with the depth chart. Kind of, again, just reconfirming some things we thought about before and a couple of surprises, I guess. But excited to see the guys roll out there on Saturday, roll out this depth chart on the field on Saturday. All right, let's talk some gambling. Before we do, though, I do want to run this by you guys really, really quickly. If you need tickets for the game Saturday, if you're not going to go to the watch party, which if you're not, whatever, if you want to go to the game, I can't blame you. But if you're going to go to the game, I'm just trying to save you some money because them tickets are not cheap, okay? Everybody knows they're not cheap. The tickets are not cheap. The only place, the best place, but the only place you should be getting your tickets from is our friends at SeatGeek. Go download the SeatGeek app or go to SeatGeek.com. Use the promo code SPURSUP. You're going to save $20 off your first purchase. Guys, like I said, the tickets this season are going to be outrageous. They're limited as hell. There's only going to be 20,000 fans. Save yourself some money in the process. I mean, why not do it? Whatever else you want to get tickets to, though, they got tickets to everything. Every sporting event you can think of, concerts, comedy club events, whenever those come back. But right now, I know we are focused on Gamecock football. If you're going to any road games and you want to get tickets, that's going to be the place as well. They got a great ticket rating system, which rates the tickets for you based on the type of deal you're getting. So, again, we already know this. Scalping's not going to be a thing. Nobody's going to scalp. SeatGeek's changing the game when it comes to ticket buying. They're going to show you exactly where you're sitting, what you're paying, what type of deal you're getting. Hey, am I overpaying? Am I getting ripped off? Or am I getting a steal? Should I go ahead and scoop those up? So all the things you would normally do when you're thinking about buying tickets and you're looking for tickets, SeatGeek is literally doing that for you. They're taking that off your shoulders. So when you click that buy button, you're going to have peace of mind that, hey, I'm making the best possible purchase. I'm spending my money. I'm getting the best bang for my buck. And also, like I said, I'm saving you $20. You'd be a fool to buy tickets and not save the money. So, again, that's our friends at SeatGeek. Go download the SeatGeek app. Go to SeatGeek.com. Use the promo code SPURSUP. That's SPURSUP to save $20 off your first purchase. All right, guys, let's move into the gambling picks. And first, we're going to start with the best bet for South Carolina, Tennessee, and it may surprise you. Honestly, it may surprise you. So I do want to make a quick disclaimer really quickly because I put out a poll for you guys on Twitter Tuesday morning. I said, what's the best bet for South Carolina, Tennessee? Here was the only problem with that. So I took the lines from Circa Sports, who posted their line, I think, Sunday, and they had the over-under listed at 50. That over-under is not at 50 right now. It is much lower than 50 when I checked the line Tuesday afternoon. Right now, Tennessee sits as a 3.5-point favorite, which they've bounced around between a 3 and a 3.5-point favorite all offseason. But Tennessee right now is a 3.5-point favorite. The over-under set at 42.5. Again, I think my best bet in this one's going to surprise you because all offseason, I have said I've been critical of South Carolina's offense in that I don't think South Carolina's offense is going to be very good. Like, I think they're going to struggle, especially week one. I think they're going to struggle. I really do. I just, unfortunately, I could see that happening. First game with a new OC, so many question marks at running back, wide receiver, brand new quarterback. How does that pan out? But for my best bet for week one, we're staying away from the line and to steal a line from Big Cat. Life is too short to bet the under. I'm taking the over 42.5. And again, I know a lot of you are going to be shocked at that. Because when I saw the over under 50, it was the easiest bet of the weekend, hammer the under 50. Obviously, that number has dropped a ton. But the over 42.5, I think it will hit. I think it will just barely hit. But you're telling me that if Tennessee, because I see it being a 24-21 kind of game, 27-24 maybe kind of game. So you're telling me if Tennessee scores 24, if South Carolina scores 20, that it hits. I like my odds there. I do like my odds there. So hammer the over 42.5. I think over 42.5 is the best bet for the game this weekend. Again, I know that sounds crazy, and I think this is one of those games too, though, where they're almost begging you to take the under. They know both offenses have problems, but it's those kind of games for whatever reason that the offenses play much better than you expect. I know that sounds crazy, but I also look at both teams have good offensive lines. We'll see. I could be wrong. And again, I know it sounds crazy, but 42.5 is so low for a college football game in 2020. So low. So hammer it. Give me the over 42.5 as my best bet for South Carolina, Tennessee. All right, let's dive in these SEC gambling picks. I'm excited because we've got a clean slate. Again, last year we were just over 50%. I'm trying to hit over 60. I'm trying to destroy your bookie this year. So let's dive into it. SEC gambling picks, week 1. We're going to start in Oxford. Florida at Ole Miss. Florida 14.5-point favorite. Over under set at 57. Ole Miss is going to be a dangerous team under Lane Kiffin. They are going to be a dangerous team. However, they're not going to be a dangerous team week 1. Hammer the Florida Gators minus 14.5. I think Kyle Trask, Kyle Pitts, that defense, that team has a big, big day, and they make a statement week 1. Florida dominates. They cover the 14.5-point spread. Kentucky at Auburn. Auburn minus 8. Over under set at 49.5. This might be my favorite pick of the weekend. Honestly, this might be my favorite pick of the weekend. Give me Kentucky plus 8. Guys, I think Kentucky might win this one outright. Kentucky plus 8 is stealing. It is stealing. If you want to get ballsy, hammer the money line as well, but Kentucky plus 8, put your mortgage on Kentucky plus 8. I'm telling you right now, hammer the Wildcats on the Plains this weekend. Mississippi State at LSU. LSU minus 16.5, over under 56.5. So Mississippi State's not going to be very good this year, I don't think. They're going to be I don't think they're going to be very good. Mike Leach, his first year. LSU, they lose a ton. But this is still LSU, okay? Miles Brennan at quarterback. I know you have your top receiver opt out, but they've still got talent all over the field. I think LSU, both teams will score, I think, which is why I love the over 56.5. Mike Leach in his first game, they're going to throw it all over the field, or at least try to. I like the over 56.5, and I think it's the only play in this game. You cannot take the under in a Mike Leach game. Every game that Mike Leach coaches in, I'm taking the over, so hammer this over 56.5. Georgia at Arkansas. Georgia, 26.5-point favorite. Over under set at 52.5. Arkansas sucks. I know my buddy Chris Marler at Saturday Down South is high on him. He thinks Arkansas could be a surprise team. Week 1, they will not surprise anybody. At Georgia, again, is a 26.5-point favorite for a reason. Who's the starting quarterback? Is it JT Daniels? Is it DeJuan Mathis? It does not matter. Georgia is going to destroy Arkansas. Georgia covers minus 26.5. Bama at Missouri. Bama minus 27. Over under set at 56.5. This one's interesting. Eli Drinkets, welcome to the SEC, by the way, my friend. You got to take on Alabama at your place. But Bama, again, 27-point favorite, which is a big line. It's a big line. Mac Jones winning the quarterback job there. I like the under 56.5. This game has – because how is Missouri going to score? How on God's green earth is Missouri going to score points on this Bama defense? 56.5, in my opinion, is way, way too much. I see this being like a 38-10 game. I just – even if – I could see it being like a 45-7 game. You're telling me we can have a 49-7 game and you still win the bet? Take the under all day. Under 56.5, no question. Vandy at Texas A&M. A&M a 29.5-point favorite. Over under set at 47.5. Easy play. Over 47.5, because I could see this one being a 42-7 win for Texas A&M. They are going to go up and down the field on Vanderbilt. Again, this is an easy one. A&M seems like they like to pile it on in these kind of games. I mean, when they get the opportunity to blow them out, Jimbo Fisher does not shy away from it. So give me the over 47.5 in the Texas A&M Vandy game. So that's going to do it for the SEC Gambling Picks Week 1, and that's going to do it for episode 281 of the Spurs Up Show, guys. I truly do appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We are officially previewing the Gamecocks game against the Volunteers. Very excited. Until then, appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much.